This is Module 3 entitled VLANs. In this module, we'll explain the purpose of VLANs in a switched network. We'll explain how a switch forwards frames based on a VLAN configuration in a multi-switch environment. We'll configure a switch port to be assigned to a VLAN based on requirements, configure a trunk port on a LAN switch, and configure dynamic trunking protocol. Overview of VLANs. VLANs are set up on a switch, and in the VLAN, we provide a logical connections with other similar device. So with VLANs, be able to segment our network, and we can do it um, in different locations. Like for example, here in this diagram, let's say um, just like in an organization, we need to divide or create departments to segment our organizations. Same thing with our computer. Say for example, we have an IT department, and we want this computer to be part of that segment or that department. So as with this computer that is on the second floor, we can do that through VLANs. Okay, so that's the use of the VLANs. In the VLANs, broadcast, multicast, and unicasts are isolated in the individual VLANs. And each VLAN has their own unique range of IP addressing. So we apply subnetting when we work on with VLANs, and smaller broadcast. It creates smaller broadcast domains. Benefits again of VLAN is that it has a smaller broadcast domains, which reduces the number of broadcast domains. It helps to lessen congestions. It also improves security in a way. Say if you have a server that should only be accessed, let's say by the faculty department, you ensure that. So once you set up VLANs, all those that are in VLAN 10 in the faculty, they are the only ones connected. It also improved IT efficiency. VLANs can group devices with similar requirements. We reduce cost, it has better performance, and also simpler management. There are types of VLAN. The default VLAN is VLAN 1. Once you work on with the switch, all ports belongs to VLAN 1. So that's also the native VLAN, the management VLAN. It cannot be deleted or renamed. Once you set up VLAN, you may change the native VLAN. This is the VLAN of the trunk. Again, by default, it's VLAN 1. By configuring, you may change it to another VLAN number. Management VLAN, this is where we set up IP ad. This is so in a way we can remotely access or manage our switch, um, or we can use the SSH and telnet command. So again, that's the management VLAN. So VLAN 1 is the default data VLAN because all interfaces are assigned to this VLAN. The voice VLAN is required if you have voice traffic, if you have an IP phone. It assured bandwidth, it has high QoS priority. It avoids congestion, and delay is less than 150 milliseconds from source to destination, which is a suggested requirement for our IP phone. The entire network must be designed to support voice. VLANs in a multi-switched environment. So we have trunk. Connection between switches should be configured as a trunk, recommended to be configured as a trunk, especially if we want to allow all VLANs here. So the moment we set up trunk, once a frame passes through this port, it tags the frame with the VLAN information. So in a way, the destination switch will know which VLAN belongs the source source is a part of. So by the way, VLANs are open standard. Even other vendors has VLAN. So as with trunk. So for trunk, its ranking protocol, and Cisco supports this ranking protocol that is 802.1q. Shown here again, what happens in the trunk is that the frame here is tagged with the VLAN information. So there will be an added, it is inserted here. The VLAN information or the tag is inserted here. And then very important details here is against the VLAN ID. Okay. So other informations inserted are type, the user priority, the canonical format identifier. But what's very important is the VLAN ID. Native VLANs and 802.1q tagging and basics. Tagging is typically done on all VLANs. The use of a native VLAN was designed for legacy use, like the hub in the example. Unless changed, VLAN 1 is the native VLAN. Both ends of a trunk link must be configured with the same native VLAN, and each trunk is configured separately. So it is possible to have a different native VLANs on separate trunks. And this ends this first part of this module. Keep safe, together we learn as one.